Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dion's Daily Dose. I apologize for the late start. It seemed we were having some technical issues. Apparently, the Greers are incredibly popular because what it kept telling me was traffic is exceedingly high. Please try again in a few moments. Traffic is exceedingly high. I was like, I've never had that before. People aren't tuning in for me, that's for sure. All right, so here with Bobby Greer and Ryli Greer. I'm really excited about this because, like, I've always watched powerlifting or weightlifting and just been like, that looks painful.
It is.
Yeah,
It hurts.
absolutely. So you have an event coming up, right? And I want to show everyone. Bobby, I put it in the trailer. If you guys saw the trailer, Bobby holds multiple records, but there is, I thought there was, there it is. There we go. See, look at that. Multiple gold medals. But I really want to show you. So can you tell us what this is for? It's a record for the state of Indiana. You hold the record.
Yes.
Right?
And this record actually will never be, this one's going to stand for forever.
Oh,
because the
okay.
USAPL, they used to be with the IPF, which is the International Powerlifting Federation.
Right.
So they had,
That's one thing I forgot. Go ahead.
they had switched from the USAPL to Powerlifting America.
Okay.
And the IPF is where you go international.
Okay.
So the USAPL is no longer with the IPF. And if you look at that, it shows 2015 to 2021.
Right.
And that's when they did the big split. And that's when Powerlifting America came in. And then USAPL switched their weight classes. So when you switch your weight classes like that, all the records start over.
Okay.
So that record will never be broken.
Look at that.
Because it's stuck.
You're in the history books forever, man. Look at that. That's kind of awesome.
It happens. I just got lucky for that one.
Yeah. So this one here, this one can be broken though, right? Or
yes, that one can be. I'm not sure because you can see that one says minus 125 master rate.
Right.
And the other one was 120.
Okay.
So
okay, so and what is the minus 120 and minus 120?
So that's your weight class in kilos. So the 120, you have to be below 264 and a half pounds for your weight, and then the 125 is 275.
Okay.
So and then the one that I got that can be broken, that I did that one at the Arnold down in Columbus.
Okay, and that's the Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Classic.
right?
Yep,
is who that's designed after. Okay. And then,
here she is.
There it is. You also hold a state, is it a state record?
Yes.
A state record. So this here is, okay, so minus 63 kilograms, that would be 63 kilograms or less.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
So 55, I don't know kilograms to pounds.
So you just got to multiply by 2.2.
2.2, okay. So, yeah.
Whatever.
Terrible at math. So, is anybody who has watched the show for any length of time see me struggling with various things?
55, I think.
55 is like
121, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the whole point of this, not only to show you guys are awesome, but also to show this isn't like a hobby. I mean, this is. You guys train for this. You go pretty intensely, and as such, you're multiple record holders and multiple title. I guess, like, is it medals? Is it titles? How is it?
Each competition you get a medal, but like these records, it's they can be broken at any time depending on if somebody else comes in from Indiana that's and her age and weight class, and then benches more than her, but
Well, yeah,
So it's-
but nonetheless, it's still pretty awesome to set a record. I mean,
especially when that was, if that one is not bench nationals,
let's see.
that's Boo Bash.
Yeah,
So
this is for
that
Boo
was
Bash.
her first competition she's ever done.
So in your first competition, you set a state record.
Mhm.
That's pretty awesome, dude. Like,
So-
I mean,
Yeah,
that's pretty.
she's done in 2 competitions what I've been trying 8 years to do.
A little
She little bit.
a little bit.
So she did a local meet. So you have to do a local meet
Okay.
before you can qualify for nationals.
Okay.
So the way to qualify for nationals is all she had to do is get one good bench lift, and then she's qualified for it.
Oh, okay.
So she got that. She ended up winning the Boo Bash. We got I got my lift in when we went to the Boo Bash. Then we went to bench nationals in January,
Okay.
which was down in Austin, Texas. We both took second in our categories.
Okay.
So we both won Boo Bash, and
Yeah.
then we both took second at nationals. So with that, with her numbers and her age and weight class, she automatically got put on the world bench press team.
Oh, okay.
And with me, since I took second in mine, the first place winner always go they automatically get the bid for the world team.
Yeah.
And then you have your alternates. Well, I was the very first alternate with my numbers, and somebody backed out. So when they backed out, it put me in,
Okay.
which is now allowing us to lift together again.
That's so cool.
So, but she's made I've been trying 8 years to make the world team. She did it in 2 competitions.
Yeah.
So
Little jealousy.
there's a little bit of
jealousy. But I'm sure you're very proud too.
oh god, it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like
So
how many dads out there can be like, hey, me and my daughter lift together, we hang
Right.
out, like, and she
Right.
actually listens to me. Like
Oh,
when
wow.
we're in the gym, she's like, so what should I do today? And I tell her, and she does it, doesn't complain.
wow.
Even if it's brutal.
Yeah.
Like there's some I'm like, oh man, I'm a little rough on her on that one.
Yeah, maybe a little,
She's like,
a little too far.
She's like, ooh, that was a good one. But,
Yeah.
but she doesn't complain. She
Wow.
does it, and then and it's kind of cool because she's my mini me.
Oh,
She
yeah.
looks
Yeah.
just like me, so it's
Yeah.
what everybody says. So it's
Yeah,
now
they aren't
she's
wrong.
taken after.
Yeah, yeah. You definitely favor him. So, what made you decide to do powerlifting?
Definitely my dad, but Joy Rindflesh, she's like a famous TikToker,
Okay.
and she blew up because she started lifting, and she was just really strong.
Okay.
And I found her, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do what she does.
Yeah.
And then we went to bench nationals, and I actually saw her, and
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
I fangirled out.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. I get it.
But she's like, hey dad, there's Joy. I'm like, oh my god, who's Joy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a TikToker. I don't know.
Yeah.
And she starts explaining it to me
Mhm.
and tells me all about Joy. And then Joy actually set a unofficial world record
Oh,
when we were
wow.
there. She's
Okay.
one weight class above Ryli,
Oh, okay.
and
All right.
this girl benched 250 pounds.
Holy.
So
crap,
it was unofficial because they didn't have any world referees there.
Gotcha. Okay.
So when we go back down to Austin next week, she'll be able to set that record.
right.
But Ryli got to meet her. Joy was the nicest girl in the world.
Yeah.
We were eating, I think, lunch before I went on,
Mhm.
and this lady walks up and goes to Ryli, and she's like, "Oh my god, it was so good watching you. Like you're so strong, and you remind me of my daughter." And she's like, "My daughter's name's Joy."
Yeah.
And we're like, Riley's eyes just lit up, and we're like, "Wait, what's Joy's last name?"
Rindflesh.
And she's like, "Yeah, that's my daughter." We're like,
Yeah.
oh well. She's like, "Have you met her yet?" And we're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "But you remind me so much of her."
Wow.
Which was a great compliment for
Oh,
her.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
For her being as young as she is and getting into it. And that's kind of when Joy started getting into it. Is right about the same age as
Mhm.
Ryli is.
Okay. All right.
So it was interesting.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
kind of cool. Then I started following Joy and she's a very, very strong girl.
Is she?
And it's
she must be 250 freaking pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
And she'll probably hit 255, 260 when we're there.
Dang.
You know, with watching her training, I'm like, oh my God, like it's impressive.
Yeah. Oh, well, absolutely. For sure. It's just not something that you normally associate. Like, obviously, you know, they're think of powerlifting. Generally, you think of men, at least I do, male powerlifting. Mm-hmm. I would say the women don't get as much recognition as they should.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I've seen some that is like, oh my God, especially like the training that goes into it. Like, you guys work hard.
Yeah, it's
like really hard for it.
Yeah, it's not an easy feat. Like when you're into that training mode where you know you're 15, 16 weeks out, like that's when you start everything. So it's not like you start a week or two or a month beforehand. You know, you're starting 3-4 months in advance.
Yeah.
To get to your peak. So when you go onto the platform that day, you're at peak performance and you're ready for it. Okay. And that's when you can get your big lifts.
So you would say there's like multiple weeks that go into getting ready for any particular competition.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We've been doing it, I think, pretty much ever since we left Austin back in January.
Okay.
It was pretty much like because I knew she had a better chance of getting on the world team than I did.
Okay.
So if we didn't get on the world team, there's also the NAPF team, which is what I did back in 2018. I think I went. I got picked for that with the USAPL.
Okay.
We went down to Costa Rica.
Yeah, I remember when you went to Costa Rica.
We went down there, and I ended up winning gold down there, which was, the feeling you get when you're standing up on a podium and they start playing your national anthem. You're like, oh my God, like I'm really doing this.
Right.
This is crazy.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool.
The biggest thing is like, yeah, it's going to be a thrill being there, but the thrill is being with her there.
Right. Have you guys met anyone else that kind of has this dynamic of like father-daughter power lifters?
I haven't. I've been doing it 8-9 years now.
Yeah, you've been doing this professionally for a little while, like you said, 8-9 years.
Yeah, I can't tell you. There may have been one or two that were dad and daughters
squeaked by that you didn't. Yeah, you know, didn't necessarily see or remember, but yeah, that's so cool. It really is. Like it's wild. So, what are you looking forward to the most?
I don't know. I think just sharing the platform with my dad again. And the whole environment, like everyone's super nice. Like my first competition, I was so nervous. Like I wouldn't have anyone to talk to. And I talked to like so many people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like a big family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like you could be going against this guy, you know, and you're neck and neck, and you know you got your numbers in there, and you're getting ready to go out there, and you know he's behind you, like, dude, get this, you got to get it, and when you're doing your bench, you know they're back there yelling for you, like push. You're like,
wow,
like, man, we're going against each other.
Right.
It's a competition.
We're supposed to be competitive. Stop being nice to me.
But it's also kind of like a big dysfunctional family. Like if you think about it, because we're all like, there's not a lot of people that do it.
No, it's a very small like number compared to a lot of the sports or things out there. Because I think part of it, I mean, just my opinion, there's a hell of a lot of work that goes into it. I mean, you got to watch your diet. You got to do all this stuff. Yeah. It's more than just like to use an example, right? Baseball players. Yeah, they play a lot of games. But in general, when they're not on the field, there's spring training, but there's a lot of time that they just don't have to worry about it. Whereas for this, you guys kind of got to be mindful all the time, right? What you eat, what you drink.
Yep.
I mean, because it can have a big effect on your body. And
for sure. And you throughout the time of doing it, you figure out like, okay, well, we're getting close to the competition now. So, you know, you really got to like lock down. You can't have too many carbs. You can't have, you can't take too many calories in. You can't do this. You can't do that. And you got to watch your food intake.
Right.
You know, watch your beer intake. So I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know, that was a big one.
That sucks.
I haven't had a beer in like probably like 5 weeks now.
Oh,
And I'm
God.
like, it is weird. So, but it's, it's a lifestyle that you got to work to.
Right.
And but it's the enjoyment of it. Like it's, like mine started to die down a little bit, and I'm like, maybe it's about time to, retire. Like body's starting to hurt. Like
Yeah.
you wake up, you're like, oh God, that hurts. And then she gets into it.
Yeah.
We're just at the gym one day. I'm like, hey, you want to do a competition together?
Yeah.
She's like, sure. I'm like, well, shit.
That was way easier than I thought.
Oh man, now we're doing a competition together. Like, oh crap, here we go. Like now we got to figure out a competition to do.
Right.
And then like just watching her get excited for it, and then like when we get to the gym that we're doing the competition at, you can just see the excitement, and it's the same excitement I had when I first started doing it.
Yeah.
And it brings that back.
Right.
And then the fire kicks back up in me, and I'm like, all right, well, here we go. Now we're back in it. We're full head of steam, and it's like we can kind of feed off of each other and
right.
Work with it that way. So it's been a blast.
It sounds like it. Yeah. I mean, I know it's been like I kind of like a Facebook stalker, just kind of pay attention to photos.
Cool.
And, so I know that the upcoming competition, what is the name of it that's coming up?
So it's the IPF World Bench Press.
IPF World Bench Press, and that's in Austin, Texas. Yep. And it goes from.
It starts Tuesday of next week.
Okay.
And goes until the Thursday or Friday after Memorial Day.
Okay.
So it's like 2 weeks long.
Okay, so it starts like the 30th, or wait.
So it starts the 21st.
Okay.
And goes to like the 31st, I believe.
Okay. So yeah, I think yes, is 30th, 31st or 1st, somewhere right around there is when it is. But you guys, your competitions are on what days?
So Ryli will lift on the 24th at 2:30 Central Time.
2:30 Central on the 24th, which is a Friday.
And then I will lift Monday the 27th at 10:30 a.m.
Okay. And where can we watch that? Because I'm like,
I believe it's going to be, it should be live streamed through the IPF.
Okay.
And then, so hers is going to be the first, like, I think that Thursday, Friday are live streamed through the IPF.
Okay.
Then Saturday, Sunday, Monday are supposed to be live streamed through CBS Sports.
Oh, okay. So if you have access to CBS Sports, you can watch, at least you,
yep.
But anyone can watch if they go to the IPF.
Yep. The IPF website, or they've got a Facebook page and Instagram page.
Okay.
The Instagram page seems like it's got the most information,
like up to date info on it.
And then once I find everything out, like the actual links, I'll put them on Facebook.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. I'll share them because I really like to tune in and watch you guys crush it because it's so cool, man.
Oh, it's
local
fun.
Legends.
It's and a lot of it is, people think of. They ask you how much you bench, and you tell them, and like, well, how much, like my competition bench and my gym bench are two different numbers.
Okay.
Like, my gym bench is going to be, higher than my competition bench.
Right.
Because the gym bench, you're just benching.
Yeah, you just bench.
And competition bench, you have a certain amount of time you have to get to the bench and get the weight off.
Oh,
and
okay.
Once you get the weight off, you got to hold it. So you'll have a judge above your head, and then you got one on each side of you.
Okay, and it's the same for both of you guys.
Yes.
The way that they score it and everything.
Yep, everything's the same.
Okay.
So the head judge is literally by your head, and that's your main judge.
Okay.
So when you unrack the weight, you got to hold it to make like the judges want to make sure that you can control that type of weight.
Right.
And then they'll give you the command of start.
Okay.
So then you have to bring it down, touch your chest, hold it, and then the head judge will give you the press command. So you press it up, you hold it, lock it out.
Yeah.
Hold it until they tell you to rack, and then you can rack it.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's not like you can just bring it down.
You don't just grab it, push it up, pull it down. Yeah, there's a lot more.
So when you're trying to remember all your technique and you're listening to the commands, because if you jump the commands, you'll red light.
Gotcha.
So you get 3 lights.
Okay.
If you get 3 white lights, You're good to go. Two white lights, you're good to go, but you can't get 2 red lights. If you get 2 red lights, no lift.
Ah, okay.
So, and that could be anything with, your butt coming off the bench, or your shoulders coming off the bench, or your feet moving.
Oh, your feet can't move at all.
Your
Huh?
feet have to be planted straight down.
Yeah.
You got to be flat-footed. Can't go up on your toes, anything like that. It's very, very strict.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And they're the league, both leagues that you guys belong to are anti-drug. They test, they do all that stuff. Did you hear, I don't want to derail or anything, but did you hear about the extreme Olympic games that are coming where they're going to allow performance enhancing drugs? Basically, they don't care. They can do whatever. I think that's going to be, I mean, obviously it's a different, a different thing, but I'm a little excited for it because I think it'll give an outlet for those people that, that doesn't matter to them, but at the same time, preserves the integrity, hopefully, some of these people who are trying to get by, I guess, sneakily in some of the other leagues and sports will hopefully move over there.
Yep.
And then,
and that's the thing. It's, to each their own. Like, if you want to do performance enhancing drugs,
right.
There's plenty of, organizations out there that accept it.
Yeah.
It's don't do performance enhancing drugs and then come to a drug test.
Right. Yeah. Don't do it and then come to one that specifically tests, for it and prohibits it because,
if you want to do it like that. It's your body. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, put whatever you want into it. Just don't come and try to compete against me.
Right.
Or against my daughter where, we're as clean as you can get.
Right.
Like, we're pre-workout, we're, BCAAs, and we're protein. Like, that's all we can really take.
What's BCAA?
It's your amino acids.
Oh, okay.
Helps with recovery and, all that good stuff.
Gotcha. I know that, like, obviously looking at you, you're got the huge upper body and the, the massive, you're very slight and very slim for someone that, holds a state record as a power lifter. I mean, it's very unexpected.
Yep.
So,
and it just shows you it doesn't matter by your size. Like, dynamite comes in a small package.
I like that. Yeah, that's so, very true.
It's just, it's just the thing. Like, she likes benching.
Yeah.
And, she works hard at it. And, people don't see behind the scenes when, we're in the gym or, we're at home and she's like, oh, this hurts or that hurts. And it's like, and it's part of the sport. Like, stuff hurts. And, I'm like, now you're starting to feel how Dad does.
Right.
Oh, God,
no. Start to have that little soreness when you get up after. Yeah, I can see that.
But when you get on that platform, it's something different. It just, like, everything just flips and, it's like it's a different world. You're up there and it's you against the weights.
Right.
It's you gotta get defeated or you gotta push through this.
Yeah.
And it's weird because whenever I would go bench, I had Ryli and my family, my wife and my boy with me, or my mom. Like, she's one of my biggest supporters. She's always with us. She's going to Texas with us again.
Nice.
She loves.
Your mom's a trip. Yeah.
Oh, she is a trip. She is a great trip.
She is
Get a couple of drinks in her, and oh my God, it is the time of your life.
Yep.
But it'd be weird because I get down and get ready to, lock in, and and I flip that switch, and that 30 seconds that it's the walk from the chalk bowl to getting ready and doing the lift.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just hate everything. Like, I hate anything that's breathing. Like, I just hate the world at that.
Okay.
But, like, you got to flip it off.
Right.
So it's like you got to take everything that's ever made you mad and figure out how to put it into a 30-second clip.
Okay.
So when you're getting up there, like, you just things that make you mad, you run it through your mind. So then get your adrenaline going.
Mm-hmm.
And then
get the heart pumping and
okay. You get the blood flowing, you get down there and I've got all this going, and it was weird. Like, I could hear Riley's voice, I could hear Tony's voice, I could hear my mom's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm down there, they're the only ones I can hear. the place could be packed and just screaming.
People just screaming and
And
carrying
it's
on.
somehow like I could pinpoint them out from.
Wow.
And it's like, all right, but it's another motivation. Like,
Yeah.
all right, well, they're here for me. Like, we've been all over the U.S. for powerlifting.
Yeah.
So it's we've been from Scranton, Pennsylvania to San Diego, L.A., down to Costa Rica, over to Florida, up to Wisconsin, South Dakota.
Wow.
So we've been all, and it's weird. Like, if my dad and my boy go, I can hear if they start yelling, I can pinpoint them, and it blocks everybody else out. It's weird, but it's a cool feeling.
Yeah.
And then you stand up, like if you get your lift, like the place is going crazy, and people get into it when they're there, and and you start getting the big numbers. Like people are like they start going psychotic over it. You're like, all right, this is gonna be a fun lift,
right?
And we were having a conversation where she's like, Dad, I don't think I can do a local meet again. And I'm like, why is that? She's like, it's just the difference of the environment.
Yeah, I could see that actually. Yeah.
So it was like,
you go from like that massive arena with thousands of screaming people, and then you come to little tiny whatever little tiny venue with a handful of your friends, and it's like, this sucks.
And when we did the one over in Aurora for Boo Bash, like it was a good setup. They had a good they put on a really good meet over there. But then you're going to nationals, like now you've got all these signs, and they treat you like they pretty much treat you like royalty there. Like, hey, like they like, hey, you got this, you got to go do this. Like, the warm up area is nice. Like they've got everything that you need.
They take it very seriously.
Yeah, and they take care of it.
Yeah.
And it's but they've got more money that are going into that compared to a local meet. So
yeah.
And I'm kind of excited because this is my first world meet. It's her first world meet. I kind of know what's gonna how it's gonna be set up.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
Right.
But it's gonna be fun to like watch her.
Yeah, because you get to experience it all again through her. Yeah, and be that I guess not just proud papa, but that that rock, that teammate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be that big. I'm her biggest cheerleader.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's fun. Yeah. It's like watching her get ready, and she's got the same thing. You can see it when it flips. I'm like, oh, here we go. The eyes just like she's focused, and she's like, she's looking at the weights. I'm like, all right, here we go. Like,
yeah,
I think she started to pick up on this. And,
nice.
But it's just really cool to watch.
Yeah. Was it a shock to you when you won, like your first time? Yeah. Yeah. So, like, how was it, like going up there on the podium and then announcing you?
It was crazy. It was just like a lot of adrenaline. I didn't know how to feel. My mind just like blanked out. I only cared about the weights at that point, but after it was just like an adrenaline crash, and it was it was crazy.
I could see that. Were you a little more prepared for it for the second time when you won? Yeah.
Yeah, she was. It was great to see. It's fun to watch. The next generation coming in.
Yeah, for sure.
And the best part about powerlifting is more women are starting to get into it.
Good.
Which is the best part about it. Like, because then it's passing along what I've known, and and it's no longer the meathead. The meatheads are the ones that are doing it. She's 128
right,
pounds.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't fit what most people, what most people have in their mind when they think of power. They think of you, but don't fit that mold. You're very, like I said, very slim, very slight, compared to, yeah. So, but it's good to see, because obviously that didn't detract from anything. You're a winner and a record holder. So, yeah,
on 2 competitions,
right?
No jealousy, I promise.
That's right.
Not at all.
So Marissa Scott said, "Go Ryli," and Bobby, I guess.
I'm just her sidekick. That's
Fair. Bonnie Nelson
Like-
said, "Go, Ryli. You got cheerleaders. We will work on Dad."
It's kind of like when I had Argo. Argo was the head of the show, and I was the idiot with the leash in my hand.
Right. Yeah. When you were, for those who are watching who don't know, he was a canine officer for LaPorte County, and Argo was his canine companion.
Oh yeah.
Which when you retired, they let you retire Argo as well. So
yeah,
he lives
retired.
with you.
He had a couple of medical issues that were coming up anyways. He was probably going to be retired within the next year or so. Anyways. When I was leaving, it was very hard to leave.
Oh, I heard. Yeah, you were
It
very
was,
emotional. Yeah, it was a lot.
She was a big part of that. Like she, the stuff that she did for me when I was getting ready to leave, like everybody knew, like it was my life. But
right.
When politics start coming into it, and you start thinking of, okay, well, it's time to stop thinking about me.
Right.
And start thinking about my family.
Yeah.
Like the insurance that I had at the sheriff's department was, wasn't that good. The retirement was the only good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't pay, like we didn't get a good pay raise for, it took 5 of us to leave before, they gave our guys 25% raise.
Yeah. Before they finally got to the lit tax and all that other stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
And,
which is unfortunate. Yeah.
Yep. But it's, and I feel since I've left, it's, at least it's helped the guys that are still there, but it's also like helped me and my family. Like, I'm out at the mill now. I got great insurance. The pay is pretty good, but it allows me to do a lot more things.
I was going to ask, are you happier now that he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just get to do more things.
Right.
And it's not like I'm always looking over my shoulder and, how it's going in the news. They don't talk about cops that are doing a great job.
Right. Exactly.
They're talking about ones that screw up.
Right. Right.
And if we wanted to go that route, we could talk about teachers that screw up or doctors that screw up.
Exactly.
It's a public official, and they want to go after them. And I'll always bleed blue. Like
of course.
Still my family, and
right.
I've got a lot of cops that are still out there that I consider family to me.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them, when I was doing the shirts, like this shirt I had made up for Ryli, because it was before I knew I got picked for the team, and so my nickname's been Shrek since I got to play in men's softball. Well, then one day, like in my truck, like her phone connects to my truck.
Okay.
So when it popped up her name, it said Baby Shrek. I'm like, did you change your name? She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, it's gonna stick.
Yeah.
So now we got Baby Shrek's Army.
Yeah,
for the shirts.
I love it.
Just so like she knows that she's got people behind her.
Yeah.
Because she's only 15 years old and she's on a world bench press level.
That's like that's so wild. It is so crazy. I thought you were older. You're 15.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And already an Indiana state record holder. I mean, that's
crazy.
Unheard of. I mean, really.
But she's an athlete. That's the thing. Like, she just got done with tennis.
Now, I was going to ask you, what other athletic pursuits or what other sports
I did
play?
volleyball, but then I recently just took on tennis, and it's really fun.
Okay. All right. Tennis is intense, man.
Oh,
like when I first started, they had a tennis thing at my high school when I went. I didn't really pay much attention to it until I got to high school, but they're like, yeah, man, you want to join the tennis team? Because I was tall and lanky at the time. And I'm like, sure, why not? Oh my God, the level of running back and forth and like diving for the ball. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm going to go play football. It's easier.
The girl that she plays doubles. So the girl that she played with, Faith Robbins, it was hilarious. Like, these two, oh man, it was just one of those things. Like, you're watching them, and there was no ounce of like them getting mad.
Yeah,
like they're having the time of their lives out there. They're joking and having fun. You're like, man, this is cool to see. Like, she's never played tennis before. She doesn't know. She's like, all right, well, we're gonna give it a shot, see where it goes.
Yeah,
she did really good.
Nice.
Her and Faith, I think they may have lost 1 or 2 matches.
Wow,
like.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Like, not bad for a powerlifter.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, awesome. But so are you still doing tennis? Then?
Yes. Well, our season is over now.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Awesome. I'll have to pay attention to that because, I mean, Sounds like you're just a natural athlete.
Yeah. Takes that for a month.
Right. I like that you slipped that in there. That was nice. Definitely not you, right?
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, that's really cool. That's really cool. So what do they I assume that you guys are responsible for your own hotel rooms and everything while you go to these competitions.
So yeah, anytime you do a competition like this, it's pretty much you pay for it.
Right.
Like, yeah, you get picked for the team, which, is great. Like, you get some perks, like SBD, they're one of the big in powerlifting, they're the ones that, like, they make your singlets, they make your elbow pad, your knee sleeves, your elbow sleeves, your wrist wraps, all the stuff that you need.
And are these required, just so I know, are these required to compete, or is it more of a you should wear that kind of thing?
So when you're competing, what you should be wearing is at least wrist wraps.
Okay.
Like, so your wrist doesn't roll back, because with that much weight.
Oh yeah.
You
snap your wrist, right?
Yeah.
If you
want that sturdy base.
Yeah.
So they got together with Powerlifting America and cut us a huge discount for
nice. Okay.
like their special singlets.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, hey, let's get these. Like, it's like more than half off. Like, it should have been over $300, and it was like $200 off.
Okay.
But it, the singlets say USA over the front, like real big.
Yeah.
And, which is really cool. Like, when you're going against other countries.
Oh yeah.
And you're wearing USA across your chest. It's kind of a big deal. Like, it's scary to think about it too, because you're wearing your country across your chest, and you're going against other countries.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's almost an Olympic level.
Yeah.
Event kind of thing. I mean, that's when you're dealing with national competitions, then yeah. So that's really cool. The expense, I assume, is considerable to attend all this stuff and buy the stuff. You don't think of powerlifting as really like racing. Racing's expensive. You got to buy cars. You got to all that stuff. You don't really think of powerlifting as an expensive sport.
Yep.
But I mean, it adds up.
Oh, it adds up real quick.
Yeah.
Between getting like the special types of shoes, the belt, the singlet, the wrist wraps, just and like traveling. So now you got your flights, there's your hotel, you got to get a car, you got to eat,
right?
And before that, you got your supplements you got to take, and so it's a lot of it plays out in that way, and it's and that's usually why we do like the fundraisers and stuff like that.
For sure. Yeah, that's something that I was going to say. It helps to defray some of those costs, the shirts, the stuff that you guys have, because it's expensive. It's expensive. Like when you went to Costa Rica.
Yep.
And that's quite an expensive trip between,
Because weren't you you sponsored me for that one, didn't you?
Yeah. I bought some shirts and, helped a little. There's it's necessary because like you can have a really good job and still it adds up, man.
Real quick.
Oh yeah.
Really quick. But it, like I wouldn't change a thing out of it.
So if people want to help, do you have like a website or something that people can buy the merch on, or should they just contact you directly?
Probably just contact me directly.
Okay.
And then because Melissa Aiken, she's out of I think she lives in Cowes. But she's got a website that she's the one that made all of our shirts for us.
Okay.
And she's got her own website where you could buy she does different stuff. She does like tumblers, and all that stuff, and she saved me big on this. Like I sent her my order. When she sent it to me, everything was like prepackaged in its own package. So it made she wrote on it like the size. If it was a long sleeve, it was
nice. So shout out to her for doing a
she was the extra step on that.
Okay,
so it's definitely like.
So if you need some shirts or something, she's your hookup.
Yep.
All right, awesome.
And she's on Facebook. She's got all her stuff. And
Melissa Aiken, A-K-A, how do you spell the last name? A-K-I-N,
A-I-K-E-N, I think it is.
A-I-K-E-N, okay.
Yeah, she's on my Facebook.
Okay.
I'll probably post something about her again on it with the shirts and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, because it'd be good to know how to support you guys. Because like I'm thrilled, man. I don't I don't lift. I know you could never tell, but I don't really get into that anymore. I'm old and it's a lot of work. But anyway, but I do want to support you guys because that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and right now the biggest support that we get is and that we want, like right now it's not monetary. It's more of just good luck.
Yeah.
We're going to be watching. Like that's the biggest thing is when after you get done or like before you get done, like we'll be sitting in the back room and we're on our phones, like trying not to think about what's like the next lift or whatever. We get on our phones and we scroll through Facebook or TikTok, Instagram, whatever.
Yeah.
And you see the messages and you're like, holy crap, like there's actually like so many people are backing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it gives you a good feeling. Like
okay.
Like that's right now that's the biggest thing that like we're riding high on that.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't tell you how many people have come up to us and it's really cool that you guys are doing this together. Or, I've had a bunch of dads message me on Facebook. Guys I haven't talked to in years. They're like, dude, how did you do it? Like, I want to be able to hang out with my kid.
Right.
Right.
You're living the dream, man.
Oh, I'm riding this as long as I can. Usually when they're 15 years old, they don't want to hang out with dad.
Right. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Mine, I thought was going to start growing mushrooms because he spent so much time in his room.
But yeah, it's we're just riding high on it right now, and it's it's fun. Like just being able to go out there and teach her about the sport I've loved for so long.
Yeah, and you're obviously very good at it because you won multiple times. So
yeah, and it's
a lot of times you can look at that and be like, you don't know anything. But in this circumstance, it kind of does. So that kind of has to be a little frustrating at times, right? So I know teenagers tend to think they know, best. So yeah. But it had to be a good feeling winning your first time out and be like, yeah, beat that.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I don't need to listen to you after all because it seems like I know what I'm doing.
And she's good with like the whole talking thing. Like, we're in the gym and like her big thing is she wanted to bench 135.
Okay.
So, a regular barbell weighs 45 pounds.
Okay.
So, you throw 45 on each side, which we call a plate, which she had to explain to her mom what a plate is.
I get it. I like I say, I watch it, but I don't know. I just kind of let the noise come when they're talking about like this, a plate or this or that. I'm just like, okay. Did the guy lift the thing or not?
So she's like, how about this? If I bench 135, you buy me whatever shoes I want.
Ooh.
And I'm like, all right, deal.
Okay.
Well, then it was probably like about a month ago. I'm at work and I get a FaceTime from her and she's like, Dad, guess what I did? I'm like, what? She's like, I benched 135. I'm like, nice. I'm like, take a video? She's like, no. I'm like, was I there? She's like, no. I'm like, never happened.
Oh, no.
Sorry about it, never happened. She's like, next time we're together in the gym, I'm gonna
do it. Yeah.
So then we had she had a deload week and it was probably 2 weeks after that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'm at work. She FaceTimes me again.
Okay.
She's like, Dad, guess what I did? I'm like, I don't know. Probably not your deload week. What you're programmed to do. She's like, no, I did that. She's like, but I also did 135 for 2. I'm like, are you serious? And she's like, got the video to send it.
Nice.
So she sent it to me and now she's wearing her shoes.
So what kind of shoes did you want? Because I'm dying to know.
I think they're called Gray Fog. They're Dunks.
Oh, okay. No, those are sharp. I actually like those. Over the years, I became less and less of a Nike fan, just me personally. Yeah. But those are nice though. Yeah, I like those.
And those were hard to find. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
They always want like particular ones that you can't go to Foot Locker for.
Yeah.
You notice that?
They're not even on Nike.com.
Right. Yeah.
I get a stock X something that she sent me. I'm like, is this a real website? Yeah.
I did twin brace.
So yeah, it's I'm like, all right, well, you won this one.
You
all
did
right.
it, yeah.
You got 135 out of it, so I got to follow up on my end of the deal.
Right.
But it's just like stuff like that, bantering back and forth, and but apparently she went and told her mom, like, yeah, I benched a plate, and Tony's like, oh, what? What's a plate? Like,
Right.
she's like,
Yeah.
135 pounds, mom. Like, but and Tony's been there the whole time with me. Like, I don't even know if she's ever missed a competition with us. I think it's like we've always, like every competition we've gone to, like she's been there, and
That's
she's been my rock for it. And
yeah.
Because there was a time where it was between, I was doing men's softball,
Okay.
and I was doing powerlifting. Well, I was playing softball and tweaked my hamstring. And she's like, so let's think about this. Where has softball taken us?
Right.
And I'm like, LaPorte, Michigan City, South Bend. She's like, where has powerlifting taken us? I'm like, LA, San Diego. I'm like, I see what you did there.
I see where you're going.
Like, all right. All right. Well, I'll just focus on the powerlifting part. Like we went to San Diego, or we went to LA for the World Police and Fire Games.
Okay.
And that's when I met the guy at the time had the biggest bench in the world. His name was Kirill.
Oh, okay.
He was from Russia.
Oh.
And this guy was massive.
Yeah.
And,
I imagine.
And I think he benched like 725.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't even think that was like humanly possible.
Oh, it is. Let me tell you, it's some of these guys out there. You're just like, if you watch the World Bench.
Yeah.
There's a guy. His name's Mike. I met him at Nationals, and he's in like a couple of weight classes below me, and he's benching in the 500s.
Oh my God!
My best bench ever was like 495, and he's in the 500s, and he's a lot smaller than I am.
Yeah.
You're gonna
see still though. I mean, 495 pounds, dude. That's
yeah. I don't recommend it.
Yeah. I mean, that's. I imagine afterwards, like your body's like, sit down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, your central nervous system's like, all right, we're done for the night.
Yeah.
Like, we're done for a week.
Yeah. Yeah, not just a night. Like, yeah. I was gonna ask you what your I guess standing total best bench was.
Yeah. My best gym bench was like 495, but my best competition bench I think was like 457 is what I got. And
that's like following all the parameters where you have to keep your feet down and your butt down and all of that.
And
so
you can't bounce it off your chest.
Yeah.
You're pretty much stopping it on your chest. And now you got to go try to muscle it up. So, yeah.
That bounce helps.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, a lot of you got to be careful, but
you're moving all around, squirming around.
Yeah. I think I saw a video of your one where your back is arched. I'm like, oh my God, that looks like it hurts.
Yeah, that was a video of her doing the 135.
Was it the 135?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Your dad had put it on his Facebook. I saw it. Yeah. That's still like 135 pounds, man.
Yeah. It's and they say you should be able to at least bench your weight.
Yeah.
When she's benching over her weight.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What do you weigh? Like you never ask a woman her weight, but
like 127, 128.
So you're benching significantly more than what you weigh, which is very, very impressive for being young and slight and all that stuff. I mean, it's a big deal.
And not really like this is the first actual real training cycle that she's had.
Oh, really?
Like the first one, like we didn't have a lot of time to prep for it. I think we talked about doing it in September, and then we ended up doing a competition in October. So like it wasn't much time to.
Yeah. So you only had like less than a month to train and get ready.
And then once we got that, then we're like, all right, we're going to go to Bench Nationals.
Yeah.
That's in January. So, you got November, December, and here we are in January. And it's like, all right, well, we'll try to get you a good regiment for, if we go to Worlds. So, Thomas Davis, we call him TD, he's out of South Bend area. He's been doing our coaching for her.
Okay.
He's a big bencher. He benches like 715.
Oh my God.
Squats and like the 900 pulls, like deadlifts, and then like 900s. Like big boy. Big boy. Nicest guy in the world though.
Yeah.
I'll do anything for you. So.
That's one thing that I've found is, obviously nothing's a hard fast rule, but in general, everyone that I've talked to that's involved in these kind of sports seems to be like the nicest, kindest, gentlest, person, and the big old meat hooks that can crush your skull. They're super sweet. Oh, yeah. You're a prime example.
I'm like a basket full of kittens.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when I'm in the gym, like I flip that switch, and when it comes time to do a lift, like I flip it, and it's like, don't talk to me, like just leave me alone. I want to murder everybody.
Right.
I get it done, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Back to being the normal. But it's like we've met Julius Maddox, who now has the biggest bench in the world. I think it's like 772 or something like that. He's going to eventually go for 800-pound bench press.
Jesus.
So he's another guy that's down to earth. Like go up to him, you just talk to him. He's a normal guy.
Yeah, that's how it seems to be.
He's 430 pounds, but, very big man. You're like, people tell me that, man, you're a big dude. I'm like, let me show you some pictures.
Hold on, stand by.
Like I met Thor at the Arnold.
Oh, okay.
The mountain.
Yeah.
And I look like a kid to him.
Really?
Like I'm standing next to him, and I don't even come up to his shoulder. I think I'm like mid chest.
Oh my goodness.
And he's just a mammoth of a guy.
Yeah, just huge.
I'm like, I don't feel small around too many people, but this guy might eat me.
Fair.
It's like,
yeah, that's so coming up, and I want to make sure everybody's aware. I'm gonna get the exact date. So, let's see, just to make sure. Okay, so a week from tomorrow is when you're doing yours, and then you're the Monday right after.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Right. We leave exactly a week from today.
Okay.
She gets done with her last exam at school. We're scooping her up from school and heading to the airport.
Oh wow. Okay. Has it affected your school at all? Having to concentrate on this?
No, not at all. It's just like a separate life. Like, I don't know. I don't really involve it with like my school. It doesn't get in the way. It's just separate.
Awesome.
But the good thing is her weights. She's got a weights class, and she's talked to the teacher about it before about her doing powerlifting.
Yeah.
So he's actually been really good with it, of like not having her do like their max outs and stuff when it's coming up for competition.
Good, because there's a lot of not a lot. There are some teachers that I don't care what you got going on. This is what you have to do, kind of thing. So it's really good that you have, instructors or teachers or whatever that are willing to work with you.
And it helped me out a lot too, because I'm trying to get her to, I don't want her to like screw up her grade.
Right.
Like she should be getting an A.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't want to be the reason she gets a C on there.
Right.
Like,
yeah, because then you're like, man, I really screwed that up.
My bad.
Yeah, whoops.
What's up, me? My bad.
Yeah. Do your friends are they like awesome about it, or are they just?
Yeah, they always tell me they're proud of me, and if I don't think I can get a certain weight, they'll always tell me I can. And
awesome.
Yeah, I did not think I could get 135, and they all just told me I could, and I did it.
Good job.
And when she did it, I was like,
this is gonna cost me.
Oh my God, man. Like, all right. I'm like, it was a relief, because it was that goal that she always wanted.
Yeah.
She wanted to get that 135, and she got it. And I'm like, holy cow. I'm like, she's like, I don't know what my goal is now. I'm like, sky's the limit. You do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, Joy just benched 250. We can work you up to that.
Right.
And she's actually taller than Joy is.
Oh wow.
She's taller. Joy's a little bit thicker, but not by much. So it's kind of cool. It's the sky's the limit for her. She's whatever she wants to do. Me and her mom are gonna be behind her. Yeah. Just cheering her on, whatever she wants to do.
You're just starting too. I mean, at 15, man, that's so cool.
Yep. And like when I went down to Costa Rica, there was a guy on our team that was like He was 82 years old and still benching.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
So, and like I said, Ryli's our youngest one on the team.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool to see that. Like,
Absolutely.
like the youngest one, and she's on the team. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to, to be young and be involved in it and, do well, but not make the team. But yeah, when you're consistently making the team at 15, man, come on.
I know. I'm like, oh, man.
Better watch out for you.
I know. And next year it's going to be in Norway. So I'm like, all right.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm like, after this one, we better get back into it.
Yeah. Keep your passports up to date and be ready.
Get to bench nationals next year. And I'm not sure where they're at next year, but I know the IPF is going to be over in Norway. So I'm like, let's do it again.
I heard there's some really cool stuff in Norway that you can do while you're there too. So.
Oh yeah, we definitely turn it into a vacation.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We ain't just going over there for a couple of days,
right, and then bouncing, right?
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
We're gonna check stuff out. Yeah,
that's why I'll be hitting everybody up like, hey, shirts again,
right?
Like this one's gonna be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and there's like Norway. I've heard. I've never been to Norway. I've never been outside of Canada. Well, USA, Mexico, Canada, contiguous, right? I drove trucks for a long time, so I did go into Canada and Mexico, but nothing beyond that. But I've heard Norway is an extremely beautiful and interesting country, and there's a lot of really cool stuff to do once you're there.
We got another golden set now.
Is it like Oslo that they're going to be at? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Which
It
city
was
it's
on the IPF's website.
Oh, the website. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of stalked them. So.
Yeah.
So I know how you feel.
Right. Just a little bit of stalking, man. Just a little bit of stalking. Oh, I think my camera froze. Oh, well. Yeah, it's a great picture of me, though.
It's a nice picture.
It's a nice picture.
Look at that.
Froze the nose, right? Oh, well, that's all right. The audio's still working, hopefully. There it goes. All right, it caught up.
But like I said, the biggest thing is, just the support that we've been receiving. Like,
so the messages do help. They do matter for both of you guys.
And when we're at the competitions, like people they'll send us a message or something. If we don't get back to you, believe me, we've read it.
Right.
We've seen it. We've read it. It's just
you don't have time to reply to every single person. Yeah.
And like we'll get back to it. We swear. Like, that's the biggest thing. It's it's cool being able to like, read it and see all these people that are following you and they're back home and they're cheering you on.
Yeah.
And, it gives you goosebumps.
Right.
And,
right.
You're sitting there and you're like, man, like this is something cool.
Yeah.
And then to do it with your daughter, it's even that much more.
Right. Right. Yeah. Like I said, you're living the dream, man. Getting to experience a sport that you really love, along with your daughter experiencing it with you and spend time with her. That's just, it's really cool. That's why I had you guys, I invited you on the show because I've never heard of this particular, father-daughter pursuit. And I thought people would find it at least half as interesting as I do because I'm fascinated.
Oh yes, and like I said, I've had a bunch of people come up to me and tell me like, you're doing something. You're doing something we all want to do. Yeah. As an adult, like you want your kids to want to hang out with you. Yeah, absolutely. Do stuff with you, not because we were all teenagers. Like you get 16, like 15, 16-year-old. Yeah, right. They're not fun. Right. Your parents don't know anything. And I know. They're just being a pain in the butt. Right. Or just annoying. Like, there's no sense. They don't make any sense. There's no reason for them to want me to do any of this. Yeah, they're just being mean. But it's nice with her. Like, she doesn't complain about anything. That's awesome. Like, I can put her through the worst workout of her life. When she gets done, she'll be like, man, that sucked. But she's not going to complain throughout the time that she's doing it. I can't even get my kid to clean the bathroom. Different story. Okay, that's it's a whole other animal. That's a different beast. Yeah, right. We need a new show for that one. All right. Well, it's been truly a pleasure. Is there anything else that you guys want to make sure that people know about you or the competition coming up or any of that? Just like I said, I'll have. On my Facebook page, I'll be posting a lot of, the stuff of, whenever the times, when whenever we find out the links and all that stuff.
Right.
So-
The particular details, you'll put it on your Facebook.
Yep, I'll put it on my Facebook, and then just let people share away. And like the biggest thing is, we appreciate the support. Keep it coming. It pushes us like in the gym and pushes us on the platform. So
Awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was Bobby and Ryli Greer, who, in my opinion, are local heroes. It's awesome. I mean, you guys just rock. Just rock. You really do. All right.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. It was truly a pleasure. And I'm going to be watching however I can via well, we'll figure it out, and I'll stalk his Facebook a little more, and I'll share it with you guys. So, fantastic. Yeah. Just really, really
Thanks
cool.
for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Deion's Daily Dose. This has been Deion's Daily Dose, hosted by Deion Bergeron. Executive producers, Sean Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2024. Deion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.